Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another segment of Bringing the World Together with your first choice, your global voice, Andrea Mason, where today I bring elite pillars and dignitaries of their communities, villages, and countries and continents. Hear their stories, hear how they're servicing the world, hear their impact, and hear how I brought them to you and how you can connect with them. Stay tuned, Bringing the World Together with Andrea Mason, segment 5, and let's begin. Let's begin and start the show with a good connection I've made at a recent summit, the Conscious Wealth Summit, Dr. Zubaida Jabu. Welcome, Doctor, and let's find out who you are. Do a brief intro. What is your purpose, mission, and message? And what have you learned on your journey thus far? Back to you, Doctor. The stage is yours.
Thank you, Andrea, for inviting me. I'm honored to be a part of this diversified platform where many famous people are there. I'm really honored. Thank you very much. If I want to say my identity, that is the first thing. I am Zubaida Akhtar. Zubaida Akhtar, the meaning of Zubaida Akhtar is significant beauty. Beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. I believe beauty is always inside, and this beauty creates, especially in our subcontinent, a conflict in the corporate world, marriage market, and social media too. I love to speak. I love to speak. That is why, by choice, I am a professor because I want to convey my thought process, my philosophy to my students. And another thing remain, by choice, I am a consultant because consultancy gives me a chance to implement policy and implement in the field level through training. More than 10,000 stakeholders I trained on gender issues. This is my satisfaction. I work for Asian Development Bank, World Bank, Canada. I stepped my foot in the social media too. In my YouTube channel, I am a YouTuber and podcaster. The reason behind this, that the general people will learn something from me, that women are not specific or segregated form of human being. They are same. I am a storyteller. From my childhood, I am a storyteller. My storytelling from my life shines other women and influence other women, and this is my happiness. I wrote my autobiography, Third Life. It is dedicated to the women over the boundaries. We are connected virtually, sometimes and sometimes face to face. So both the platform is my asset. I am a versatile person in training as a mentor for corporate world, in education sector, and in social media. To me, the journalist, the media personality should know what is gender. They only know gender is men and women, but not that. Gender and gender is a relation between men and women based on perspective, that is gesture, eye contact, behavior, and many things. I train both men and women because to me, without men, women cannot progress. Men can be a feminist. And for me, the main evil lies in the family. From the family, we brought up with the knowledge that we are different. Brothers are more precious. Fortunately, my parents were very progressive. They consider my sister and me that we are the precious like diamond. This influenced me a lot. So, my parents influenced me a lot, especially my father. I used to dance, I act, I recite, so everything I did. If anyone say to me, if you want to go to your 5 years old, what you want? I want to go back to that utopian world, that pampered world where I am the princess of my parents. Because practical life is a hardship. First, I want to say what incident led me to this situation. There is something behind everything. There is a reason. At the age of 22, I got married and both of us were students. So, in some cases, people are fortunate, but I was unfortunate. My brother didn't allow to stay with my father for 3 months only. I have to go out of the house in emptiness and shelterless with red suitcase in my relative's house. There I studied for 3 months. I appeared exam and I did a very good result. I never missed my boat. I say, boat, wait for me. I will speed my step double. But you go on your own way. What I learned from this, nothing comes from comfort and there is no joy. There should be a challenge and every woman can take this challenge. Only they should have a dream, tenacity level high, and passion. Like me, I stepped in the outside with empty suitcase, red suitcase. Nothing is there, only some clothes, no hope, no dream. But when I go to airport now with red suitcase, there's a lot of hope, dream and aspiration. All my sorrows become blessings in disguise. I love to make bed of thorns into bed of roses. I love to win the battle. So I should say all the women of the world should take these challenges. My messages to the world that, especially in our subcontinent, that make your family healthy. Family is the main causes for mistaken education, as Mary Wollstonecraft says in her Vindication of the Rights of Women. I believe that we can stop many things if our family is healthy. I want to educate the people through motivational speaking, podcast, YouTube, and training. I am a researcher too. I'm searching inclusive clues of inclusiveness in the society and the family. So don't miss your boat like me. If I can, you can also. Once I cried for the moon, now I limit my sky.
Thank you so much, Doctor. I truly appreciate it. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, Doctor will have you come back afterwards to provide solutions, resources afterwards. Thank you so much, Doctor. Ladies and gentlemen, we have next up Dr. David Coe. This is a gentleman that I connected recently, and I am so excited. You're going to love his enthusiasm. So sit back and relax. We're going to welcome Dr. David Coe to the show. Hello, Doctor. How are you doing?
Hi, thank you very much. I love that comment about enthusiasm. I hope I'm able to bring that out.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So Dr. David, let's follow suit and form. So tell us a little bit about yourself, do a brief intro and how we connected, and what have you learned upon your journey to bring you where you are today? The stage is yours.
Well, I mean, we connected relatively recently. It's only a few months ago. To us, as the world was heading into the major sort of climate conference. That's the event which took place in Dubai, where all the governments got together to discuss kind of our climate future. And we were running a program at the time called "It's for You," which was the antidote to the COP conference, in the sense that the COP conference was all about how we look to the governments to provide the answers. But the aspect of this for you is about our own responsibility and how we can give ourselves that power and take that power to make the changes ourselves. And along that journey, I was very fortunate to be introduced to Andrea, and we had our opportunity to talk. And I really appreciated this aspect from her about taking responsibility of ourselves, which she expressed. And I think that really connected together. Um,
Excellent, excellent. So now share with us. It's an honor to connection to be with you. Yes, it's really in true alignment about what actions we can take, responsibility. Everybody has a choice at this stage and moment in time. Even right now, you can make the change and you can shift it. So share with us a little bit about what you learned upon your journey, about where you are today and what impact you have upon the world, please. The stage is yours.
Well, I should start from where I come from. So, my colleague Richard, who's going to come up next, and I used to work together for many years, and we were investment managers. We were working, basically making money for big money, and our world very much centered around this aspect where, there's this saying that people have: if there's a problem, it's not a problem. You can just throw money at it. And we came to realize actually that many of the challenges we face today cannot be resolved in that way, because it's not about it's as much about what we find as being the right purpose for ourselves, and therefore the right things to do, as much as it's about how we think we can just throw our efforts behind causes and hope that somehow they all work out. And so Richard and I, realizing that investments alone are not going to solve our problems today, actually left the investment industry after 30 years successfully working in it. And and we wrote a book called The Unsustainable Truth, which I hope you have the opportunity to read. What it captures is our experience about how we've caught ourselves into somewhat of an economic trap. We've allowed our lives to become something where we think it has to be better in every direction, when we're missing out that aspect which is just within ourselves. It sounds a bit strange for someone who comes from a hardcore finance investment background to be talking about really looking in within ourselves, but that really is the part where we ended up and where we come to, because what we realized in terms of trying to do good in the world is that it's about finding our own place and being comfortable with it being our own place, so that there is room for other people. And that really goes back to this aspect of having to understand where you are, being able to take responsibility for your own lives, and being able to give yourself that power to say, actually, I am comfortable here. This is the right thing to do. And that's how you can survive the challenges and turn them into opportunities. And in that way, we can go forward. Um,
Excellent. Absolutely. No, absolutely. The challenges and for providing solutions. That was what you had did. You were able to rethink your choices. You were able to look at the situation and rather, like you said, fund it, be part of it, and connect with individuals that have the like-minded missions and messages to make it happen, to be profitable, and solutions as well as resources. Excellent. So what impact did you bring to the world as far as going forward? What do you see coming down the line in the future?
Well, very, very, very interesting, right? So, what is coming down the line in the future? So, tonight in the US, there's going to be this whole election thing. A lot of people are very tense on both sides, depending on how they feel, with the aspect where there is the big political picture and all these things, and they confuse us and they worry us. And where Richard and I, where we've come to, is this part where we actually say, don't worry about a lot of those things, focus upon what is the right direction for you and for your business, and your business counts, because we all need to be able to make a living. And if we cannot make a living, then we cannot help others, and then we cannot thrive. So it comes to that. So one of the steps that we were taking forward is we're extending what we did with Andrea over that time into an aspect what I like to call as open the door and embrace your future, which is a program of activities over a short, very intense period of 8 days, where we get people to express what their direction they want to be in, together with a cohort of others, where they learn new skills, mostly communication skills, about how to be able to express what they want, planning and aspects like that, of being able to develop those either into a business or a personal development plan, so that we can actually have them be quite specific. And most importantly, and this is the most important part of all, and this is the part that I learned most, is that aspect of how do I actually go about communicating it to other people? How do I communicate it in a way that embraces them and bring them into my future? And so that's kind of the first step of what we want to do.
Excellent. So, ladies and gentlemen, the links will be provided in the show notes of all these panelists. And Dr. David, thank you so much. I love the vision and the message, because you're not only creating it, but you're always a step ahead on how to get people involved. And, the fact that you're expanding it as looking at, don't look at the big picture. What can you do? What choices, what small actionary steps in your community, in your home, in your country, and your village that you can take action. So thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll have Dr. David Coe come back shortly. Thank you so much, David, and we'll see you in a few moments. Next up on deck, we have Richard Busolato, as Dr. David had mentioned, his counterpart. So welcome, Richard, to the stage. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you, Andrea, and thank you so much for having me here today.
Absolutely. Excellent. So just to follow suit, the questions as at hand is a brief intro and how we connected and what you have learned upon your journey thus far. The stage is yours.
Thank you. I mean, the risk here is obviously that I'm going to be a little bit repetitive after David's terrific showing, I might add. A lot of our steps are very similar. And like he mentioned, we met a fair few years ago when I joined the firm he was already working for. And just like him, actually, unlike him, he was very modest about his academic background. I have none of that. Basically, I've done one thing for almost 35 years, which is managing capital in various shapes or forms and across all asset classes in Stockholm, Brussels, and London, where I currently live. Um, the journey we embarked on actually came from the fact that we got quite heavily involved in looking at various sustainability policies and responsible investments, etc., probably 5 years ago or so now. And we didn't like anything what we saw in the whole subject area. And our conclusion was actually that this is a widely misunderstood gigantic problem that the world is facing. And long before we are really going to see the ecological fallout and the real pressure will come on our planetary resources, it's actually our economic way and our economic model that will suffer. And when that happens, if you look through history, bad things happen to society when those kind of pressures emerge. And that's really the foundation for how we came to the conclusion that whatever we think about the current environmental sustainability issues and problems we're having, throwing more money at it through investments will actually not solve it. Because at the very root of it all is that we have too much money chasing too few opportunities. And that puts enormous pressures on our planetary boundaries and planetary resources. And that was the starting point. And then we added, 30 years of experience of having lived in those markets to the book, The Unsustainable Truth, which not surprisingly, we strongly recommend people to read if they want to see the whole subject area from a slightly different angle than what most people are expressing in that kind of books. So that's my journey. And like David said, we connected a few months ago when we embarked on our journey towards COP28. And at the heart, the conclusion must be that we cannot ever escape our own responsibility because every single action we do actually matters. Whether we think it does or does not, it does matter. And that needs to be up to each and every one of us to figure out how we best can approach it from that perspective, that what we do ultimately matters.
Excellent, excellent. Yes, it is really important, as you said. And you're just as modest as Dr. David Coe. You guys are doing amazing work. You really bring it to what I love about your approach. It is simple, it's concrete, but it's so impactful. The messages, the connections you've made, and the content you are giving to the public is really powerful and eminent to them because it can be understood universally amongst different languages, but cultures. And that's what I really absorbed from Rethinking Choices as well as COP28. Is that
Yeah,
right?
indeed,
I
yes.
got the number right.
Just another number.
So yes, absolutely. So, ladies and gentlemen, check that out definitely. And without further ado, before we have you come back on screen, what is the impact that you bring to the world? That same thing with last David that you want to bring forward. What is your vision going forward over the next couple of months, if not years? Stage is yours.
That's a tough act to follow. My vision is one where people actually start not only accepting but also embracing individual responsibility, because when our actions do matter, the course and the direction we set our lives on and our choices ultimately have a huge impact on the lives of others. And too much of today's environmental issues is very focused on I'm doing well, it's your fault. And the world doesn't quite work like that, because each and every one of us has a very different starting point in terms of how and what we can do. If you live on another continent and you have a much lower discretionary income than someone as fortunate as I have, it's not really an option to discuss some of the things that you can do or not do. If you need that energy to cook food for your kids, you're going to chop down the last tree. That's the way it works. And too much of the environmental debate is actually disconnected from our economic reality. And we want to bring that back in some form to saying that at the end of the day, the economics is always what's going to drive our choices, and the solutions to current climate crisis will be found in that economics. Because actually, if we allow it, capitalism works in a way. And I hope that we will be able to shift the debate away from why doesn't the government do anything about this, to we need to look ourselves in the mirror in the morning and say, what action can I take that actually affects the total outcome? Because whatever we do does matter.
Absolutely. And I totally agree with that. What are the action steps? And what we have to understand too as a whole, just to kind of button this up, is that there are more individuals that can take more action than there are leaders. Not to disrespect the leaders, but if we all are uniform and do the same positive act for the greater good, that's when the whole world has a rippling effect. So, ladies and
Absolutely.
gentlemen, that is Richard. We will have him back a little bit later on in the show. Thank you so much, Richard. I am bringing to the stage now another good friend of mine across the waters and borders, Mr. Burkhard Herbote. Hello, Burkhard. How are you doing? Can you just unmute yourself, my friend?
Sorry. No. Yeah. Hello.
No
Greetings,
worries.
Andrea, and greetings to the group. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you
All
for
righty.
your invitation.
Absolutely. So I'm going to give the stage, the platform yours, to introduce yourself, the services, regions you served, and how we connected. And I'll come back on to continue the questions. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. The stage is yours.
Thank you. So to answer the last question first, we also have met in this online event round of COP28 Dubai, where I also first time have heard about Richard and David, by the way. And I absolutely agree with both the speakers told before. Please apologize, my English is not perfect. I will try my very best. My intention is to, like all the others, to make a better world. But we have to come to realities. And I met too much people. I have met too much people. They remain in their dreams. And so therefore, what David and what Richard said is absolutely correct. It is important to have dreams, important to see, to look out of the box, to look behind of the horizon, as we say in German. But we need to understand the consequences, positive and negative consequences. So you need to be able to understand complex developments. And when you remain in dreams, so there is no movement. And we need to have a financial fundament to be able to work. We need to have a individual financial fundament, and the organization you represent has to have. And here I'm trying to help. Hello?
Yes, absolutely. That's a good, that your English is very well, so don't worry about that. Your message is coming across. So yes, it is about the responsibilities and the networking connections, and in doing so, take a little bit more deeper dive in telling the audience of how you go about that and what your background is, and what you've learned upon this journey so far. The
Yeah.
stage is yours.
So my background more is international networking. I am helping organizations to create international networks, partly even worldwide networks. And I'm doing so because I'm the editor of two international academic reference publications, first already published 35 years ago. And it is the World Tourism Directory and the Handbook of the German International Relations. So the last book is in German language and the other one is in English. And I am trying to connect tourism and climate change issues. So And the connection is climate-friendly travel. So let's say the interface is climate-friendly travel. How to do so? Of course, I cannot do this on my own. I only can support existing organizations. And for example, there is one with a friend of mine, Professor Geoffrey Lipman, who is a former deputy secretary general of the United Nations World Tourism Organization. And he created a foundation, SUNEX. SUNEX helps students from, let's say, around 100 countries, so the LDCs, less developed countries, and the SIDS, small islands, developing states, to participate in an online diploma course and finally create country chapters, and finally, after having the country chapters, to create climate centers in these countries. And this will be education institutes. So, and in general, beside of this, in general, I learned that it is very important to get the awareness why we are here, why I am here, why you are here. And you need to go your way. You need to realize that you have to do what you have to do, whether it is convenient or not. And what is important for the world. So like I think wasn't it Kennedy said, don't ask what the state can do for you, ask yourself what you can do for the state. Let's change the word state for the planet, for the world community. But it has to be, coming back to David and Richard, it has to be doable, it has to be realistic, and it needs to be financed. So everything belongs together.
I love that. Absolutely. And I think this panel is going to be connecting after we finish here. So I'm very gracious to have you aboard. Thank you so much, Burkhard. We will have you circling back. And so now stay tuned. We'll see you in a few moments. Thank you, Burkhard. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to have another panelist of mine who started this a long time ago. And I don't see where they went. Okay. Well, they stepped off. One moment, please. Let me see where she is. Okay, I don't see her. Okay. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, here is a woman of great stature. She's going to do a brief intro. It's been some time since we've connected, so I'm going to welcome to the stage Miss Helen. Hello, Helen. How are you doing today?
Hi there, Andrea. Hi to all the panelists. It's very exciting to be with you all today. Thanks so much for this invitation.
Absolutely. So just to follow suit, kindly, pardon me with the, I tell you, Murphy's Law is with me today. If anything that's happening, it's all happening today. So this is to be, this has to be one of the strongest panelist segments thus far, but that's okay. I'm a little blurry. We're going to make do with it. The show must go on. So Helen, if you would, without further ado, follow suit, introduce yourself, how we met, and then I'll come back to finish the segment with some other questions for you. The stage is yours.
Absolutely. And you're doing so well. Nice and sharp picture there. And so many amazing people speaking already. And I'm very excited to be supporting this project you're doing, Andrea. You have always struck me from the first time we met as someone who has a very unique passion. And it's palpable and very full of great humility and graciousness about your journey through the world. I know your story, and I remember it really touching me that you were so determined to triumph, and now here we are in this very beautiful way of sharing and bridging the world. So my name's Helen. I have a nickname, Helenique. You might see it on some of my profiles. And I'm very passionate about non-conformity, being someone who is outstanding, someone who is really, truly unique as only you can be. Because I think the world pushes us all in many different ways with a lot of psychological pressure, economic pressure, political, environmental pressure. And then we have our own internal pressure, trying to make us fit in, belong, be accepted, validated, loved, appreciated by everybody else. But sometimes in that journey, we can easily, very easily lose touch with this very unique essence inside of us. And so my commitment and devotion in life is to always bring back the mirror, the reminder of how special, unique you really are. and how powerful your frequency is, your miracle frequency as you exist here and were conceived and then came into this amazing thing we call life. You brought with you something nothing else and no one else ever can. And really getting in touch with that has been my life's journey. As it happens, that's something I had to work hard to connect with and keep and sustain through my life, because I had many different experiences in life of very powerful, sometimes dominating ideologies, cultures, systems, the way the world, lives in a lot of fear. I never related to that as a young kid. And so I kept learning, that I needed to work to prove something, or be this person I wanted to be. It wasn't just easily flowing, and there was always some resistance. And so I learned a lot about that. And I think I very much learned how important it is to stay true to yourself and to keep this contract of loving yourself, learning how to love yourself more. And if and when you get pulled in different directions, or you might even end up living someone else's version of your life, um, you have a responsibility. And I love how we kept saying that word, and feel it very strongly with you, Andrea, um, to bring that responsibility into your every second day, that you are responsible for yourself and to yourself, to be the best version of yourself and to take great care of yourself, and not to have anyone make you feel guilty, shameful, or devalued in any way for being who you are. How I met you, you came on an interview with me. I think I alluded to that and was very moved by your story, Andrea. And this was years ago. And then since then, I've connected with loads of people over the years. But something about our interaction was sustaining itself over time. And when I saw your invitation for this, I was again moved, because I thought, wow, some meetings are going to grow into these beautiful outcomes, but they get seeded, and you never really know when you meet somebody what will happen. Sometimes you do. And in this case, I didn't. And so it was such a surprise. And I'm very excited to be here supporting you all and on this journey together with everybody.
Absolutely. Yes. It is truly an honor to reconnect. Time heals all wounds, and time with us, it was just like a moment,
Yeah.
We are very busy, we're very proactive, but one of the things that I've learned and became a Disney quote is Ohana means family, never gets forgotten or left behind. And everyone on this show, on these segments, has a strong place in my heart, because the impact, the influence, they took it to the next level. They didn't just take it to their family. They didn't just take it to the coaches, their mentors, their mentees. They brought it worldwide. And that is the essence of why you are here. So thank you, Hellenique. I appreciate it. So to continue with you and your powerful story and what you do, just share a little bit more about what you learned upon your journey and what solutions you have to bring to the table. The stage is yours, my
Yeah.
dear.
Okay, so I was commenting on all of that as I introduced myself before, with the power of really being your own person, and being outstanding, being extraordinary, being this person that you are here to be. That's something I learned upon my journey. Just a little bit about me, and then how do I do the work I do? I'm a clinical psychologist by training. I've done that for 25 years and wanted to radiate, expand, and elevate people's destiny. So I started moving into visibility coaching. I'm really passionate about helping more women's wisdom come out into the world, not just for women to teach women, but for the world to be taught by women. I think we all have amazing ancestors. We are on the shoulders of giants. Every single one of us has a piece of greatness in us. And I'm passionate about helping people see what that is, really fine tune it, and actually to become leaders in their own right. And that's why the self-leadership accountability part is so important, being responsible to yourself and to your life. And in that form, I now work as a visibility leadership coach, an executive coach, and I work a lot with the Enneagram to help people find their true magic, as it is, your flow mojo, what makes you really special, and how do you bring that into the work you do. And if you do have this charisma and passion and fervor to be visionary, or to see what people need and to offer that to them, I really would love you to know that I'm in your corner and I'm very much there supporting you to become the spokesperson that can share that vision with the world. So I curate speakers for my platform, Woman of Truth. I'm very focused right now on integrative health. I think that's a very important mission for me. It came as a calling after I got very sick many years ago, and then started noticing all the burnout in the world, all the chronic illness in the world, and all the amazing paradox of a very well developed medical protocol and medical field, but still we haven't really tapped into the true magic of healing and integrative health and medicine. And so I'm passionate now about putting speakers, leaders up into visible spaces. I have a big project in Dubai right now. If any of you are in the health and well-being industry and you would like to join with our mission, please do, because we are looking for global leaders and speakers on the importance of more holistic, multidisciplinary, and really integrative thinking. How do we connect the dots? It's not anymore a world of feeling separate. We are all connected. Everything is collective. And I'm looking to bring that message through. I have a secret side career as well as a drummer. I'm a drum facilitator, and I work with the African djembe drum and the frame drum from the Middle East or the ancient world, which was once played by women. And I do a lot of work with the neuroscience of rhythm and percussion and how it affects the brain waves and how it can help special needs cases. And of course, there's always space for private interactive work with people that really need deep healing, because I have always remained with this idea that only those who do the deep inner work are going to be able to feel better. And those are the ones that go through a dark night of the soul that are truly the ones that can lead the rest of us. So the more of us that go deeper to heal and to open up other levels of consciousness, the more we will have great leaders in the world. And we really need nothing more. There's more, but I'm going to leave it there. And back to you, Andrea.
Thank you so much, Hellenique. Yes, the drumming. I love it. Music is a universal language, an existential way to bring our frequency and vibrations to meet with our moods, whether it's good,
Yeah.
Off balance and indifferent. So thank you so much. Again, ladies and gentlemen, all the links will be provided for these great individuals below. Hellenique will have you back shortly. Thank you. Next up, we have a sister of mine who is across the waters, who I am very connected, as I've learned and dubbed the phrase Assalamu alaikum. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, as I am blurry, today, I don't know what's going on with today. What's today? It's 1, 2, 3, 2, 4. So something's going on, but it's all good. Welcome to the stage, Lady Iram Fawad. Hello. Unmute yourself, my dear.
All right. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can
So,
see,
hello to
audible,
the
and hear
globe.
you. Yes.
Yeah, hello to the globe. It's good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're listening to me. This is Erin
Yes.
Fawad, and I am from Pakistan. I'm the president of Womenpreneur Pakistan organization. And as I think that this sister of mine got connected online, and we are acquaintances together to make a difference, make an impact on the globe, so that we
Absolutely.
can give a positive attitude and positive beliefs, so that we can bring change in the world.
Absolutely. So without further ado, introduce yourself a little bit further, and then what you have learned upon your journey thus far. The stage is yours.
Oh, thank you so very much. And those, my global audience who are listening to me, I'm very humbled to be here, because, as per a woman making an impact on the global leadership, I guess it's my honor and privilege to tell you that how I am making a difference. So, being a Pakistani woman and being a very, very, straightforward, and you have to become a lioness in this man's world to make your worth. So I guess guess I started in believing in let's educate and empower the women of Pakistan, because if I am a Pakistani and can work together with the global citizens, and we can do wonders together. So it's all started in 2014. As per my entrepreneurial journey, I have done a lot of diverse field, and I've got a lot of diverse designations as well as many different fields. But the most and important is the sustainable developmental goals that I love to do as per in education, in gender equality, in education, and into the connection and cooperation with the other entire entities of the world. So I guess this is something that I love being doing that. So achieving this goal, it took me 26 years of my entrepreneurial journey. So I started so many ventures, a few failed, a few are working, but I'm still going on. So this is the woman I am, and I guess I can say not I, because as my organization is working on this one step solution to inspiration, connection, and streamlined trainings. So because I believe that we can turn your vision into reality, because I know the way forward. So I guess we deserve a place of belonging as being a woman, so that we can showcase the world that we can do. So this is pretty much that I do. As my intro is too long, there are 22 hats that I wear. So I guess Andrea, if you wanted to come on the stage and ask me the another question.
Absolutely. I'm right here. Yes. So after answering all those questions, 26 years is just a number, but it's growth, experience, and knowledge. So
Yes.
having do that, just you've answered all the questions of who you served, what you learned upon your journey, and then to button it up is providing solutions. How do you provide solutions and resources to your audience? The stage is yours.
Okay, thank you. So I believe in women empowerment is equals to the nation's empowerment. So for that, what I started is like visibility online, so that people can see you. If nobody can see you, there's no way you are going to be excelling, because I guess we all have something, a talent in you, but you never know what to showcase to the world. Because how come, if you don't know the power of networking, then this is a loss for everyone. It's all in vain. But I guess I have developed a formula, so through which my organization is working, and that's for the entrepreneurs, the business owners, the CEOs, or maybe the directors or chairmen, those who doesn't know the way forward. I am always there to guide them. So as being a business strategist and business development mentor, I have been doing so many other things that firstly I did it individually, and then I started some of few of the organizations like JB Geniuses, then Digital Academy. I'm the CEO of Digital Academy Pakistan, and then started the IT journey, started doing some growth hacking things and many other things that involved in. But it all started with my fashion venture. So the formula that I wanted to tell you that you can grow with us is like business ideas that you have, and then online visibility that we provide, and then growth hacking that we can provide, and we let you know how you can use it and make it happen for your business. And then business consultancy, I am a business consultant and I am doing wonders. So I guess this is the way we empower. I am empowering the women of Pakistan over here, not almost over here, but in Africa as well. There are so many connections that I've been connected to: UK, US, even in Norway. So we not only this, but when you know the knowledge and you know to unlock it, then there are doors which are opening all over the world. So opportunities come knock your way if you try, I guess. So I believe that if you want to make an impact, making an global impact on economic and growth, country's GDP, it is very important, I believe, that I am making one step ahead, and I'm doing a lot to just teaching few skills development to the girls who can just sit home, because as per in US or other areas of Europe, we as a Muslim ladies cannot do few of the work outside of the house. So I am trying to get all the ladies online so that they can work and they can earn a little bit. So learning and earning is my passion, and I guess these days I'm just teaching few of the young youth entrepreneurs how to do it. So I guess I answered your question.
Yes, you did. Thank you so much. And yes, it's important significance of different cultures of the younger generations, inspiring, empowering minds, both on the home front, what they can do in the comfort of their home, as well as their community. Thank you, Iram. We will see you shortly. I truly appreciate it. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, we have another amazing woman of great stature. I met this woman some years ago and just recently did a summit of hers. Without further ado, I would love to welcome to the stage Dr. Melanie Falvey. Hello, doctor. How are you doing?
Hello, Andrea. Hello, everybody, other speakers and everybody watching. Thank you so much for inviting me. It's such a joy to listen to such outstanding speakers. I'm so inspired by each one of them.
Thank you so much. Well, I learned from the best by being a part of your platform as well. So, without further ado, I'm going to turn the stage to you. A brief introduction, if you will, the regions you served, and what you learned upon your journey. I'll be back shortly.
Thank you so much for this opportunity to connect with your audience, and hopefully we will be able to inspire them into taking action. I just feel so at home with all the speakers because I can see we are all action takers. And this is something I truly, truly believe in. I don't think hashtags will ever change the world. Action will. So I'm based in Spain. I'm half British, half Spanish, and as I like to call myself, a global citizen. And I think the world is so small, it's getting smaller and smaller thanks to all the technology we are able to use. It really feels like we're just global citizens and we can do so much. So again, we can definitely change things. I think sometimes we have this idea that only big corporations or the government or institutions can create change. But that's not true. We can change things, starting with ourselves. And that's exactly what I like to empower people to do. I had to go through a journey, as all of us. We've probably reinvented ourselves a million times. I think one thing we all have in common as action takers is probably being passionate about many, many things, wanted to grow on a personal level, also learning, studying, researching. And this leads to creating change in many different ways. And sometimes that change, again, it doesn't have to be something huge, it can be something really small. And that is actually my mission. I'm on a mission to inspire somebody, even if it's just one person, into doing something for themselves. And I know Helen said that we're all unique. And this is part also of what I love doing. I'm able to see the uniqueness in each of the person, of the people I work with or that I am surrounded with. And I like to, I call it like a magic wand. I like to infuse them with this magic that they already have, but maybe they're not aware of it. And when somebody believes in yourself, you're able to take action and start that leadership journey. And I do believe we're all leaders in some capacity. Some people are not interested in being leaders of a huge corporation, but we need to lead ourselves, lead our lives. And in doing so, we can become an inspiration or a mentor for somebody else. So that's, in short, what I do. As I am multi-passionate, I have been doing it for many years in different capacities. But I think what I'm doing right now, and Andrea, you know what it is. I think I'm so lucky because I've been able to combine everything I used to do and love and bring it into the world, in a way that is fun, enjoyable, and really effective. So I like to unleash the magic potential, the inner power that we all have within us. And I provide visibility, opportunities for visibility, for sharing messages, stories that impact the world. And again, I'm interested in action takers, big, small, in between, but action takers, because that's what's really going to change the world. Hashtags are very nice, but they're just empty.
Beautifully said. And ladies and gentlemen, this is another reason why I really connected with Dr. Melanie. She's very passionate, and it's just a beautiful combination of her passion and aligns with her progress towards success. In doing so, you have answered all of those questions. As far as the last component of it, if I missed it, pardon me, was how we connected, and then what solutions and resources do you have available for the audience? The stage is yours.
Yes, absolutely. I did forget that part. How could I? So I connected with you, Andrea, a couple of years ago, probably. You were a guest on one of my shows. So I am the founder of Expert Channel TV, and I'm also a magazine editor. And on that occasion, I was doing panel discussions with experts and people who really had something to share, which is your case, Andrea. And I have to agree with Helen when she said there's something really, really special about you, Andrea, and your commitment, your passion, your professionalism really stood out. So when you joined the Conscious Wealth Summit back in December, I was absolutely delighted. And you shone. I mean, you just shine because you have this aura about you. You are just a joy to work with, to collaborate with, and to be friends with. So that's how we connected. And I'm just so glad that this connection turned into something else, a friendship and collaboration. So I'm really grateful for that. And the resources and tools I can provide is, again, I provide a fun, enjoyable, and effective way of becoming visible. And again, it's this idea of we can do more. We don't have to wait for somebody to tell us what we can do. We don't have to wait to be really big or well known to start changing the world. So for anyone who has a gift, a talent, expertise, a skill set, and you think you can make somebody's day, life, or business better, easier, or happier, I provide a solution, a visibility solution for that. So we broadcast to TV and OTT platforms. We also have a magazine, and we help people become camera ready because it's a journey. And believe me, I used to be camera phobic. So the only way I can explain what I'm doing today is because it's my mission. I used to be absolutely petrified, terrified of being on video, photos, videos. That was not for me. So I had to overcome all my fears, all my struggles, my shyness I haven't yet overcome. That will always be with me. But if I was able to do it, and now I'm, running two businesses completely around video and TV and broadcasting, anyone can. It just takes a change of mindset, obviously the right support, but it's just about the mindset. If you know you have something that's going to make somebody else's life or day or even 5 minutes better, if you can bring a smile to somebody's face, then you owe it to them to do it. And that's what moves me. And that's what really brings me joy, seeing that inner power in somebody before they even see it and getting them ready to showcase that into the world.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, these are why these individuals are upon this platform. You would never guess she was shy or is shy, as she states, but I know when the universe and stars aligns, when I can meet with these individuals in three-dimensional, I'm going to give her a big hug. So thank you, Dr. Melanie. I truly appreciate all your efforts, all your work. I've learned so much from you. Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't done so, connect with Dr. Melanie Falve. Pardon me. All right, we'll see you real soon, doctor. Thank you so much. Next, we have up another doctor. We have a bunch of doctors in the house, so stay tuned, sit back, relax. Thank you for your patience. I am bringing to the stage Dr. Bridget Tan. Hello, doctor. How are you doing today?
Hi, Andrea. Thank you. It's an honor and a delight to be with you today.
Thank you so much. To follow suit, a brief introduction of who you are, who you served, how we connected, and your journey thus far. The stage is yours.
Thank you. I'll start with the last questions, how we connected. And we connected, I believe, a few years back through the great Les Brown when we were both learning to be even better speakers. So it's such a delight and an honor to be working with the great Les Brown and to connect with you, Andrea, at the time, as well as many other magnificent people. And so, who am I? What do I do? What I do is, let me ask you, for to answer that question, let me ask you, if you're listening to this, is your result, whether it is financial, work, relationship, or health, is your result as awesomely and magnificently as you would love it to be, and that you are accomplishing it as easily and with as much fun as you would love it to be? So, what I do is I help people recover from and release all the trauma, recent and past, and all the grief, recent and past, that dampening and interfering with your result a lot of time without you even knowing. When something happened in our life, being human, anything that has happened in our life, it's impacted us. Even if we feel good, even we are okay, if you have not fully recover, release, and transform it, it can continue to impact us. And so I help people to create the result that they would really, really love by releasing the part of them that is no longer needed for them at this point. It might be serving you good at the time. And so you can be consistently joyful, consistently and successful, at ease and confident, even if more adversities is happening for the right now or in the future, and doing that with more fun and ease. And the formal title for that is a grief transformation and life success coach. And so that is what I do.
Excellent. Yes, the great Les Brown. Yes, my coach who did the forward to my book and continues to we be kindred spirits as fellow adoptees. That's where we met. Can't believe it's been some time now. So thank you. So yes, you shared with what you do and the services and populations you provide and how we connected. So the question follows suit. What is coming next for your journey? What do you see upon the future of your services, your business, and your vision for the future? The stage is yours.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, my work is global. Thank goodness to the technology. I'm able to serve every people from every country who truly do want to release and receive. Is the way I say that. And so, what is what I see in the future, and what is the impact that I create is to continue at each and 1% at a time, 1% at a time, to create the result that they would love. Where whichever it is that whatever it is that for you, because everybody is different, to continue to create the result that you would love, one step at a time. And we know that baby step take us up to where Mount Everest, one step at a time. As you release, you continue to be able to creating and what you would love. And with that, I continue to be. I'm also an author. My book, Seeking Peace, and being a speaker and working globally in a way that is easy for you to receive and create.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And yes, technology, ladies and gentlemen, it could either, it's all how you use it. It could be a tool or a weapon, and everyone here has definitely used it as a treasurable tool. Thank you, Dr. Bridget. We'll have you shortly back on. And without further ado, I have a young gentleman from Africa who has inspired me, and I have been able to support his mission. Please welcome to the stage Augustin Eguishi. Please come to the stage. There you, oh, we just lost you. If you're able to come to the stage, let me see if I can add you. There you go. All righty. The stage is yours. We're going to start with a brief intro of what you do, who you are, and how we connected, and then I'll come back on to close to finish the questions. Back to you.
Thank you so much. Can you hear me?
Yes, you are audible. Yes, we have a little difficulty seeing you, but we can hear you. Yes, go ahead. The stage is yours.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much. First, I will want to start with on how we connected. So, we connected in 2021. When I was looking for mentors for our Mental Health to Greatness program, I think I connected with you through Dolly. So Dolly, I reached out to Dolly to be one of our mentors, and I was also looking out to get more mentors for our Mental Health to Greatness program. And dear Dolly, have to recommend you to be a mentor in the Mental Health to Greatness program because that is part of your part of what you're passionate about, and that is what you do to mentor and to coach. So that is how we connected. And since then, you have been part of our Mentor to Greatness program for the past 3 years. So 2021, you were our mentor 2022, 2023 as well. So that is how we connected. So can I get the next question?
Yes, absolutely. So thank you for the connections. And yes, a shout out to Dolly Dixon as she was unable to attend today, but she'll be on hopefully in future shows, a future event. So the next question is who do you serve, the regions and populations you serve, as well as your journey thus far? What brought you to where you are today? Back to you.
Okay, thank you so much. I serve mostly young people, young women and girls across Africa. So over the last 5 years, to be precise, I've been leading programs to mentor young women and men to become a better version of themselves. So my journey so far have centered around bringing young people to the center stage where they can become change makers and bring young people together to lead their voice, to advocate for gender equality, also to become transformational leaders. So, in the past 5 years, I've been leading programs and projects that are cut across peace building, leadership, gender, education, as well as social justice. So, over the past 5 years, I have led programs that, you know, inspired young people across Africa, made them to become a better version of themselves and become a change agent in the society. So my journey has been very, very inspired by the work that I do and the passion and resilience I build around it has been a motivating factor to drive me to where I am today. It has been a great pleasure, advocating and leading programs and projects that have transformed young Africans to become a better version of themselves, as well as um, give them the privilege and the opportunity to connect with mentors across the world. Andrea has been a great mentor, and through our Mentor Her to Greatness program, young women across Africa have been able to connect with her. She has used her story to inspire them. There's been an amazing testimony about the Mentor Her to Greatness program, the mentorship, the mentor mentee engagement, and all of that. So it has been a great journey for me. And I thank Andre for her dedication and the commitment to our program, especially the Mentor to Greatness program. Thank you.
Thank you, Agushi. Truly an honor and privilege and pleasure to have you here. I will have you back shortly and stay tuned. Thank you so much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're coming to the closing point. Thank you for staying with us. Pardon the technical difficulties. So I'm going to bring up right now a couple of panelists on screen, and we're going to have some closing thoughts and how you can connect with them or a call to action. So first we have up, we are going to have David as, is David here? Yes. Okay. David and Richard. All right, gentlemen. So I'm going to ask you, as mentioned before, just some closing remarks and, any call to action that you have or how you want to connect with our audience. Just go ahead.
I think a theme that's very much echoed through all the panelists that you've had is this element where we do have that power ourselves, and very often we forget it. And when I spoke before about doing things on next stage about helping to give people that power, I think one thing we forget is that we also have to take that power, and we have to take that power in order to be able to feel that we can change our lives, and in doing so, we can actually influence the greater world around out there. So I would definitely sort of echo many of the sentiments that's been said by your panelists, and really kind of want to stress to everybody out there. This year is going to be a really interesting year. We have a lot of political changes, a lot of elections, and a lot of things that will make people anxious and all of that. And really, that aspect of the anxiety is to recognize that the world changing means as an impetus for us to also look to our own lives and not allow our comfort zones becomes our traps, but to be able to push that a little bit.
Absolutely. Excellent. Yes, go our beyond our comfort zone. That's what it's all about. Feeling comfortable in our own skin, feeling confident and able to speak out and utilize our voice. Okay, Richard, your closing thoughts, call to action as well, my friend.
Yeah, I think, like David said, it's within ourselves to actually shape our own destiny. The question is whether we actually have the desire to grab that opportunity or not. Do we have enough willpower to shape the future we want to have around us, or are we happy to just let it run as it is? The lens we see the world through is, fairly brutal lens. We see a lot more trouble on the horizon. Some of it is recognized and some of it gets the press time and the television time, but there are lots of issues that don't, that bubbling under the surface. This is not the world where I spend the bulk of my years operating in as an investment manager, where frankly it wasn't very difficult to make money. This is a very hostile world that's going to really test humanity's and markets' ability to navigate them going forward. It's going to be a really, really tough world. And unless we decide we want to change and shape the future the way we want to, climate crisis is going to bankrupt us before it drowns us. Is that what we want?
Interesting question. And that's something that we should definitely explore further. What could we do and where do we see the world going? Knowing what both gentlemen are sharing here, what is within our control and what is something that we can deflect and really put our focus to. Thank you, gentlemen, so much. I truly appreciate it, and stay tuned. All righty. Next, we have Ms. Aram as well as Dr. Zubaida coming to the stage. Same questions apply to you.
Okay, thank you so very much, firstly, and congratulations for a wonderful show. And hope to have more and more and more with you. As per, I guess, we all ladies and gents over here making a difference. Either I met David, I met Richard last year, and we did worked on the climate thing, and then the voices of it's for you, and then afterwards, before that, I have invited you for an interview, and we got connected. This is how people are all connected through internet. And I guess we all human beings has a duty to not only deliver something that your knowledge has to be delivered to for the sustainability of the future generation. So I guess this is my belief that what I am doing today, someday these videos, these everything can benefit someone. So that is the reason that I am working on. Plus the thing that I see where I stand and what I want to make an impact entire the globe. Either I without any racism, or maybe you can say differences between colors. I stand with all. Like I stand in Africa. I am a Muslim girl, but I have guts to say that I am there to help you. So this is what I do.
Thank you so much. All righty. And now we have coming to the stage, we have Dr. Melanie, Dr. Bridget. Hello. Thank you so much. And Igushi. So we're going to start with, he can't come on. Okay. We're going to start with Dr. Melanie. Some closing remarks.
Thank you, Andrea, and thank you to all the panelists. This has really, definitely, you've brought the world together, Andrea. The tagline is so fitting. Love it.
Thank you.
And I have definitely been inspired by all the speakers, and I really hope the audience is finding so many golden nuggets. And to the audience is my last message. You don't have to do it alone. Please be mindful, be selective, be very careful who you bring into your circle, because they can really make or break your growth. They can help you thrive, or they can harm you and keep you stuck. And this is not in any way meaning that you can only accept a certain kind of person. It's about who is going to uplift you, who can you learn from. Being a mentor or being a learner is something that we need to feel very proud of, very grateful of. And it also comes with a responsibility. So just be mindful, create a circle that celebrates you, a circle you can rely on, a circle who, will be there when you need them. And this is valid for any person, any walk of life. And again, as mentors, all of us in a way are mentors, we need to take that honor with a huge responsibility. And the way I like to think of mentoring is always about not imposing, but showing the possibilities. Walk your talk. Again, don't use empty hashtags. Do take action. Be and do what you're speaking about. Be and do what you know, talk about everywhere. So that would be my closing remark. And because the journey to visibility, to TV, video, broadcasting has been such a journey of self development, self growth, and self love. I want to also gift that same thing to the audience. I'm going to give you, and if it's okay, Andrea, I'll pop the link
Yes.
in the chat box so you can share it. I'm going to gift everybody a meditation. It's an activation that is going to allow you to show up with more confidence, because it really is a journey of self-love, and we all need to start there. So thank you so much for inviting me, and I really hope to connect with everybody here
Yes.
today. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, Dr. Melanie, for all your wisdom, knowledge, and beautiful smile. Yes, it is stepping outside that comfort zone, being authentic. And I love what you said, showing up. That's what I do. That's what each of the panelists on all of these segments do for me. And I am humbled, graciously honored, privileged, and just grateful. I don't want to get emotional, but thank you so much for being here. Dr. Bridget, your final closing thoughts and gifts, if applied. Go ahead.
Thank you, Andrea, and thank you all for being here. It's been an honor and a delight.
Yes.
So, my final closing message: no pressure, no doubt. Thomas Carlyle says, no pressure, no diamond. And even after all the pressures and the heat that a diamond has to go through to become a diamond, it's still, for it to be able to serve, it still has to be displaced, pushed way out from the core of the earth to the surface, completely displaced. And after that, a diamond still has to go through multiple cutting and rubbing and cutting and rubbing. Ladies and gentlemen, you, each of you, is a diamond. And all the challenge and the adversities and the trauma that you feel is to help you shine even brighter and serve even better. Now, as we go through life, being human, those pain and trauma and cutting and rubbing can become very, very painful and sometimes disabling. And if that's the case, you want to allow support so you can heal faster and easier and serve sooner and better, because we know that time does not heal all wound. If time heals all wound, there will never be post-traumatic stress disorder syndrome. Time changes what's on the surface and transform it into something impairing us from inside out. But each of you is a diamond. So let's us all release those impurities, things that impair the diamond from being the brightest it's possible. Let's make you release all the impurities, take the actions to release them, and allow you to become that most beautiful A-grade diamond. And if you were to want to know more, I have a workshop coming up on December 17th called Release Your Grief, Regain Your Joy, and Full Spectrum Rich Life. You can connect with me through my website, joyfulrichesbeyondgrief.com. You can connect with me on social media, Facebook, Birgit Panitan, as well as on Instagram. But you can even connect with me directly. If somebody actually going through a tough time right now, whether you or your loved one, firstly, my heart goes out to you. Secondly, if you take the actions to connect and reach out to allow support, big kudos to you. If you are going through a tough time and you mentioned Andrea, as an honor to Andrea, connect with me at drtanforgrief@gmail.com, and I will be more than happy to extend a complimentary consultations to you. But just remember, no pressure, no diamond. You are a diamond. If you need support in becoming even brighter and serving even better, there will always be the right support for you.
Well, you hit it nail on the head. I guess that's why my gemstone is the diamond. My birthstone is a diamond of April 26th, if you're wondering. So each and every pressure, pain point, scratch that I've been has brought me to each of you here on the panel, there in the audience, globally, your global voice. Thank you so much, Dr. Bridget. Thank you so much, Dr. Melanie. It's an honor and privilege to have you here. Again, ladies and gentlemen, all of their information will be found in the show notes once we do this playback. Thank you for sticking with us due to technical difficulties. We have final, last but not least, Mr. Aguishi Augustin to do his closing remarks. Stay tuned. Hello, Aguishi. You are upon stage. Go ahead, my
Yes,
friend.
can you hear me?
Yes, I have you on audible only. Well, a visual as well now.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you so much. Yeah, I just want to say I want to advise the audience and those listening to be resilient with whatever they do. Uh, for the past years, very consistent and resilient with my work, and it has helped me a long way in achieving my goals. So I would want to say that whatever you do, try to remain focused, be resilient, and be consistent with your work. Um, Finally, I would want to also invite um, the speakers here to our next section of Mental Health to Greatness this year. So it will be a pleasure to connect with Dr. Bridget and Dr. Malenia and every other one to see how we can continue to amplify the voices of our society and make the world a better place for all of us. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. From Africa, my brother, thank you so much for being here. I am truly grateful and humbled for such an amazing platform. Ladies and gentlemen, this closes another segment 5 of Bringing the World Together with Andrea Mason, where over the course of these segments, I've been able to have 5 of the 7 continents present on all platforms. This is what it's about, bringing the world together, from the dignitaries, affiliates, king, queens, ambassadors, doctors of the world, the strong pillars of the world, bringing them to you. They have their contacts. You have their information. If you need any support, reach out to me and I'll connect with you. That is my gift to you, paying it forward. Your global voice, your first choice, Andrea Mason. Stay tuned for next month's segment. Like, share, subscribe, and I will see you real soon. Thank you. It's been an honor, privilege, and pleasure. Have a great evening, good morning, and good afternoon. Ciao. Be well.